years ago.
I remember it well. I just think that Ohio is the most interesting of all the states to look at right now. But I think that after Super Tuesday, you're still going to have 4 candidates in, and you're still going to have 4 candidates pounding away at each other.
There's a very big difference, though. Having 4 candidates in is one thing. Ron Paul will probably stay in to the convention. Having competitive candidates, having them remain competitive is going to be the different story. And Newt Gingrich, by the way, has done a really good job, because I think it's a baseless kind of argument for him to make, to say, if I win Georgia, I still have a case. I think it's imperative he wins Georgia, but that doesn't mean that he really lasts much longer.
I know, but what he does, he's got like staying power because he's been in politics so long.
But does he have any choice but to argue that? At least if he just picks Georgia.
Oh, no, it's his choice. I mean, obviously, it's his only
in
line
advance.
of attack.
Of course, he has to say that I will still be in the election. I think he has to say that. Otherwise, nobody, people lose their confidence in casting their vote for him.
Sure. But the point is, I actually happen to think he will stay in, regardless of what happens tonight.
I think all 4.
Which I think is.
I agree. I see all 4 staying in.
I do too, but it depends how strong they're going to be after tonight. And if Romney wins Ohio, and listen, Tennessee's a sleeper, guys. This is really the 3-way contest that is the closest of all the Super Tuesday states. If Romney pulls it off in Tennessee and Ohio, you can have kind of a knockout punch tonight. If Santorum wins Tennessee and Ohio, he has that ability to move forward and say, I'm the one who could challenge Mitt Romney one-on-one, and that gives a lot of people cause to ask Gingrich to step aside if they truly want an anti-Romney candidate.
I mean, you look behind the curtain of how every candidate is conducting themselves in the election, how their machines are working. I mean, Santorum's machine is so different than Romney's. I mean,
he doesn't have one.
Basically, he doesn't. Right, exactly, which is why...
Maybe you don't need one, though. Maybe you just sit back and watch the one that has the whole campaign offices and ground game screw up.
No, I don't think so.
Like, we've seen it flip-flop from one candidate to another. There could be a surprise.
Yeah, you've seen that, but it just like from day one, whenever this started, whenever I started, every week I come back and say, it'll be Romney, it'll be Romney, it'll be Romney. I still think it'll be Romney. He's got the best machine. But did you hear what Obama's doing in Ohio? I mean, he's got a better machine.
That's amazing.
That's the one that
How about what he's doing today, Eric? He's having a press conference today. Like, why not... He's having a press conference. He's purging his mailing list. He's cleansing his mailing list. He's setting himself up for electronic communication, just like he did in the last election. That's what I would be worried about.
Well, let me tell you something, but listen to the report again. The Obama administration and his campaign have the benefit of now being the nominee, working hand-in-hand with the DNC. Once the Republicans have a nominee, guys, let's not forget, the RNC already has offices and operations on the grounds in every single battleground state and others. In Ohio alone, the Republicans won every competitive congressional election in the 2010 cycle. We won the governorship in the 2010 cycle. We picked up state and local races in Ohio in the 2010 cycle. There is fertile Republican ground in Ohio, and it will be a real battleground based on the economy for the president, regardless of his organization.
Well, that's the thing. The economy. I mean,
what do you make of this? I had Senator Barrasso here from Wyoming yesterday refusing to make an endorsement at this point. I had the GOP chair for Georgia yesterday refusing to make an endorsement. What are they waiting for?
Well, I think depending on who's waiting, it's telling. The Georgia chairman not endorsing Newt Gingrich, the presumptive winner, the homegrown guy. That's interesting. But I think what's more interesting, Jamie, is how meaningless these endorsements really are. Governor Christie endorsed Mitt Romney in October, and Romney still had a bunch of trouble. Newt Gingrich had Sarah Palin give him basically a tacit endorsement, and Todd Palin, the first dude, give him a blunt endorsement, still was meaningless
and
for Newt Gingrich.
Jumped on the Newt Gingrich
bandwagon. I think the Palins are a little more significant, but yes, Herman Cain as well, and they all really didn't help him that much outside of South Carolina. So endorsements have marginal
Former Attorney General John Ashcroft yesterday for Mitt Romney mean anything?
Not necessarily.
I don't think any of them mean anything either way. And I do think it's interesting when they won't say, when they're not going to say who they're for, period. That's confusion within the party, if you ask me.